What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to my channel if you guys are new. We are here today for Cop or Drop. This is episode number 5. What I do in this video is I take one book in this market right now that I definitely be buying, and of course one book that I definitely be staying away from or even selling if I own it, all right? With today, I'm actually have two books for you guys. Two books that I'm going to buy, and two books that I'm definitely going to sell if I own them. Before we get started, like I always do, I'm going to ask you, if you are not a current subscriber of the channel, guys, and have been digging my content, go ahead and click the subscribe button for me. I want you to tap that like button as well, because it does help the algorithm out. And of course, I want you to turn on the notification bell, because it does let you guys know when I post new videos. One other thing, if you guys haven't checked out my website, it's mightycollects.com. Go ahead, check that out when you have some free time. But we're going to hear for Cop or Drop, so we're going to go right into it today. Like I said, I got two books for you. I'm going to drop, and two that I'm going to buy. And then I have something special at the end, a book that I really want to talk about. A book that has been all over the Hot 10 list that I kind of said that I wasn't going to buy, but now I'm hearing a little bit of interest. I saw something that it may change my mind, so we're going to talk about it at the end of the video. We're going to start this week with the drops. These are books that have been absolutely on fire. The character is a recent character, has a recent film out, so I don't want to spoil it yet. But again, these books have gone up so quick, so hot, so quickly. I really just kind of want to get them out of my collection and flip them and kind of get that money back in. So let me state before I go into these books, I still want to own these books, guys. So I'm not saying that you should go out and sell these books if you have them. If you want to keep them in your collection and you're a long-term collector and you like them having in your collection, then keep them in there. For me, the way I collect, I will kind of want to move on from certain books and buy other things that I've never had in the collection. So I'd be selling these books right now if I own them. So we're going to start today with the big boy. It is a copy of Doctor Strange, number 169. Of course, that first issue going over from Strange Tales over to Doctor Strange in his own title. It's not the official, like, number 1 issue, but it is the first in his own title. So we're going to start with this book. Why am I going to drop it? First things first, because of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, this book has been soaring, going crazy for the past 6 months. I'm talking about, like, higher grades go close to $1,000 right now. For like 780s, it's getting creeping towards $1,000, and to me, I think it's just too much money for this book, in my opinion. It's a nice Silver Age key. I want it in my collection, like I said, but because of all the hype of Doctor Strange, I don't know if anybody out there has seen the movie yet. I have. I think it was a good movie without giving up too much, guys. I think this book has come a little bit too far, too fast, and I think now is the time to sell. Like I said, if you are a collector and you keep everything in your collection and you don't sell stuff, I think you're fine. You're going to hold on to it. It's never going to be an issue. But if you want to get the most bang for your buck, now is the time. With this movie just hitting the theaters, some people, I'm already hearing, some people are not crazy about it. Some people say it's great. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't think it was super spectacular like everyone else thought it was going to be. So to me, now is the time to drop this book if you feel like you should. But I think it's a good time to sell. So we're going to jump here, right in here with the numbers of this book. I'm going to throw it on the screen for you guys. We're going to take the 7.0 grade, because that's the grade that I always talk about on the Hot 10 breakdown, the 7.0 or so. So we're going to look and see that back in 2020, this book for the average sold for $242. Then in 2021, up to $507. So we got that double that we always talk about, right? This book over doubled in price, which is great. The 12-month rolling average is $682, and now the 90-day is $761. The last sale in this grade is a whopping $840. This book just went up another $100 over that 90-day average from 12 months to 90 days, about almost $100. And of course, from 2021 till that 12-month rolling average, about almost $200 in value gain. Like I said, this book has come a long way in such a short period of time. I think it's prudent right now to sell this book. I wouldn't be looking to buy this book right now. Like I said, over the past like maybe 2.5 months, this book shot up a ton of money. I remember doing the Hot 10 breakdown a couple of months ago, and I was all over this book saying, yes, I want to own it. And I was right at that time, because it's gone up so much. But now I'm saying, if you own this book and you're not married to it, now is the perfect time to sell it. That's my opinion, guys. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Should you be dropping here? Are people still buying this book? Let me know down in the comments. So, like I said, I got another one for you, and it plays along into the same thing. It is a copy of Doctor Strange, number 1, the true first solo title of Doctor Strange, all right? Again, same goes with this one. I always say to you, if I'm buying Doctor Strange books, I want Strange Tales 110, I want Doctor Strange 169, and then I want the, of course, Doctor Strange #1. This is my third choice, so again, I'm going to pass it along to this book as well. Same thing goes for it. If you own this book, I'd be selling right now rather than buying. Again, same thing with the numbers. We're going to take this book at a 9.0 because, like I said, this is a more common book. It's not a Silver Age book. We need it in higher grade. So at a 9.0, 2020, it sold for $142. That was the average. And in 2021, we did not get to that double. $266, only about $120 over the 2020 average. The 12-month rolling average was $306, and of course the 90-day average was up to $335. The last sale still higher at $350. So this book keep going. It seems like every couple of months up another $20. Every couple of months up another $20. So is it time to sell? I think it is. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go see it and then make your determination. To me, we may see another 3 or 4 years before we see another Doctor Strange movie. I don't know. Maybe they'll do it a little sooner. If you see that movie, you guys let me know in the comments what you think. To me, I think now's a good time to sell. If this book comes back in and you want to add it to the collection, same with the 169, then you can add it back. To me, you're going to get the most bang for your buck if you get rid of this book now. You can always add it later. I don't think it's just going to keep going up and up and up and up. That's just my 2 cents. Now, I will say this. If you guys own a copy of Strange Tales 110, that is a book I am not selling, right? That's the first appearance. That's the money book. That's the book everybody wants to own. And to me, that's the best buy of the 3. If you can afford it, this book, I think still thinking around a 2.0, 2.5 grade, anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000. Still highly undervalued. That's on my list of books that I will still am looking for, books that I want to own, and it's been all over my undervalued comics list. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I'll drop a link at the end of this one. You guys check out the part 1 and the part 2, okay? So that is my drop for the week. 2 books that I definitely be dropping. Doctor Strange books, unfortunately. Again, like I stated earlier, I want to own these books, guys. I want to have them in the collection. I do. They're awesome books, but when movies come out and trailers drop, you only have a certain amount of time to get rid of things if you want to get rid of it. Not saying you have to, but if you own it and you want to just cash in, these are the books that I'd be dropping, all right? So we're going to go to the cop now. What are the books that I'd be buying if I'm going to drop those 2? Well, they're spider-related books, of course, right? What's next in the MCU? We all know, like, the multiversal travel, right? We all know that that's what's going on right now. So let's bring us to the multiverse. Let's get some of these other characters out there that are popular that may show up sooner rather than later. So I'm going to start with the big boy first, right? The big boy. I own this book in a 9.8. I would love to add another copy, and right now this book seems to be just heating up. It is a copy of Edge of Spider-Verse #2, the first appearance of Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen. Obviously, she's not in the main universe. Who knows if she'll show up in a future Sony movie. I would love the MCU to do her. I don't think it's going to happen that way, but you never know. Now that we know that the variants kind of look alike, you never know what could happen going forward. Regardless, this is a book that I'm highly specking on right now to show up in a future movie. We all know that Sony's going to be doing a live action female spider movie, meaning they already cast Madame Web. We think that they cast the actress for Black Cat. Who knows if Spider-Gwen's going to be in that one? I don't know, but this is a book that is starting to pick up steam. We're going to go into the numbers. I'm going to use a 9.6 because you guys know with modern books, I go 9.6 or 9.8, so we're going to take the 9.6. The 9.6 2020 average was $428 on 105 sales, which are a lot. The 2021 average was $655, so we did not get that double, guys, right? Which surprised me. I was really shocked about this one. The 12-month rolling average was $741, and the 90-day average was a whopping $899. And the last sale was May of this year. We're only in May 5th or 6th, whatever the hell it is, $911 at the 9.6 grade. This book is just starting to heat up, in my opinion. The numbers aren't really telling the true story from 2020 to 2021. Really didn't get that much of a jump, which I'm actually really kind of shocked at because this is a major key, one of the biggest modern keys that you can buy right now. I believe that the Spider stuff is only kind of getting started. At the end of No Way Home, we kind of saw Peter Parker on his own. I think they're going to branch out into other Spider-related things. Maybe not in the MCU, maybe Sony. Regardless, it's only a matter of time before we're going to see a live-action Spider-Gwen in the Sonyverse, or like I say, hopefully in the MCU. I don't think that's going to happen yet unless Marvel buys Sony, which is a dream. But either way, this is a huge cop for me. This is a book, if you do not own a copy right now, I'd definitely be searching for. All these Spider-related characters are absolutely on fire. You don't know where they're going to go with the multiverse, with the Spider-Verse. They could bring in some of these characters along with Miles, stuff like that. This is a book, like I said, I'd be searching for, hunting for. If you could find a nice high-grade copy, I'd add it to the collection. So my other cop for this week is a book that goes right along with this one. Ready? It is a copy of Marvel Spotlight number 32, the first appearance of the Spider-Woman. If you guys are not members of the channel, I sent this out in, I believe, my first newsletter of the books that I'd be picking up as we speak. And this book has actually gone down a little bit, which I was actually really shocked when I looked up the numbers. I'd be specking on this book real hard right now. If this Spider-Woman and Jessica Drew shows up in that Sony film, this book is also going to explode. I think the MCU and the Sonyverse really are hinting at a lot of female-led movies, like with these Spider-Women characters, these Spider characters, with Jane Foster as Thor now we're seeing, with all these other highly regarded female characters. We're going to see them in the movies going forward, and this is a book that I'm definitely specking on. It's still, in my opinion, undervalued. Okay, we're going to jump into the numbers, like I said, like we do in 2020. We're going to take a 9.2, by the way, 9.2 grade. I think that's a nice solid grade to have in this book. Higher the better, though, so don't forget that. In 2020, the average was $241. In 2021, average was got the double, $492. So that's nice. Really shocked me that the Edge of Spider-Verse didn't double, but this is a nice double. The 12-month rolling average was $568, whereas the 90-day average is now down to $501. So now we're kind of getting a pullback in this book. The the last sale of this book was back in April in this grade for $473, so still falling. We're not going to try to grab a falling knife. We always use that term in the stock market, but when we feel comfortable and we think the price is right, you have to pounce on this book, in my opinion. This is one of the go-to books, in my opinion, that I'd be buying out there and looking for second or third copies if you already have one. I do think this is going to happen. I just don't know when. So if you have some spare change laying around and you want to add a nice book, especially in a 9.2, for this book to only be $400 and something, just under $500, this is a nice key to have. Spec on it. Leave it in your collection. You got the money. You got the run-up on the Doctor Strange books. If you own them, take that money and invest in a nice spider-related key. And in this case, a female spider-led key. That's where this is going. That's my opinion, guys. You let me know what you think for cop or drop this week. Are my picks right? Do you think Doctor Strange books are still going up and you want to hold on? Are you a long-term collector? You want to keep on them forever? Let me know down in the comments. But like I said, I got one other thing for you guys this week, and it's because I was talking about this book on Hot 10 Breakdown. It's been all over the list for the past 3 or 4 months, and I've been saying, stay away, stay away. This book is going to go up for a little bit, and then maybe it'll just shoot back down or maybe plateau. I wasn't buying it at these high prices, and I'm going to stick to that. This book is a copy of Strange Tales number 126, the first appearance of Dormammu, and also the first appearance of Clea. Now, I'm going to throw a spoiler warning out there for everyone out there. I saw Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, so if you need to click off this video right now because you haven't seen it, do that before I go any further. I'm going to count to 3, and then I'm going. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we saw the post-credit scene with Clea at the end. Charlize Theron has taken on the mantle of Clea. I loved how they brought her in right at the end. You got no context. You only got a little bit of an information. This tells me that they're planning something big with this character. I will say this. I wasn't on board before spending this amount of money, and I'm still not crazy about spending the amount of money it's going to cost to buy this book right now. The book hasn't jumped up crazy in the past couple of days since this movie's been out, which is good. So it may not go take off. But what I am going to suggest you guys is if you do own a copy of this book, don't sell it yet, because I'm just not sure where this one is going to go. I think they're going into the dark world, right? where she is the sorcerer supreme of that world. We're going to find out eventually. I'm not 100% on that, but I also think we may see Dormammu again in this world. Again, I'm not 100% on that. This is just purely speculation. So if we get another Dormammu, if we get, obviously, her showing up in the Dark World, Sorcerer Supreme, we all know what happens in the comics. They eventually get married mystically, not like in real life. Like, they can't actually get married because she's not from this world. But if they kind of end the Doctor Strange franchise with that happening, this book could kind of take off. So again, I'm not a proponent of going out and spending the money on this book right at this moment. After the movie's over, wait to see if you get a dip and then pounce on it. But if you own this book, don't sell it right now, because I do think that it could go higher in the future. Okay, again, we're going to jump in the numbers quick on this one. I'm taking a 4.0 grade because I think that's a nice, for the smaller keys and the Silver Age books, I think the 4.0 is really the sweet spot, okay? So we have a 2020 average of $134, only in 5 sales, believe it or not, which is crazy. 2021 average was 238, so we just got that. We didn't even get the double, I'm sorry. We didn't even get the double. The 12-month average was $321. And of course, the 90-day average is up to $410. And the last sale was just last month for $450. That's quite a jump, especially for a minor key. It is a double key, which is great. Still going up. And only 6 sales in the last average of the 90 days. So that's a low amount. Tells me a lot of people are looking for this. We'll see if that jumps up again over the past month, with considering that she showed up in this movie at the end. So I really wanted to mention this on this video, guys, because there's been a lot of talk about it leading up to it on these hot 10 lists that I didn't want to stay away. And like I said, I'm not 100% I want to buy it yet, but if you own it, hang on to this book. Don't sell it yet, because you could get a nice bump on it. All right, guys, this is it. Cop or drop for this week, episode number 5. Let me know down in the comments again what you guys think of these books. Are you buying? Would you reverse them? I'm always interested in what you guys have to say. With that said, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.